What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It's a warm and humid night in East Olean as the Olean Oilers get set to host their second home game of the 2026 PGCBL season. Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Voltz, and welcome to this broadcast of Olean Oilers baseball. Oilers looking to get back to 500. They come into tonight's game at 2-3. This is just their second home game of the 2026 season so far. Oilers are coming off of a tough loss down in Elmira the other night by the final score of 14-4. The Oilers have also put up some big runs in a few games this season. An 11-1 win over Jamestown earlier this week in Jamestown. Last weekend beating Batavia 10-7. Also put up 6 in a loss to Jamestown in their home opener. So the Oilers offense can certainly swing the bat, but pitching has been a bit of an issue for Olean in some of the games this season. And on the mound again, another returning Oiler, the right-hander Jake Menendo, back for his second season. Menendo starting in the second home game for the Oilers as he did the first. He had a bit of a rough go of it against the Jamestown Tarpskunks back on May 31st. Menendo, a right-handed pitcher from Erie, Pennsylvania, a senior entering a senior year at Penn State Barron. Menendo, the right-hander, will get the start for the Oilers against a Geneva Red Wings team that is only playing their second game of the season. The Red Wings have only played one game all year. They didn't win it. They are 0-1. A loss to Auburn. A 12-2 loss to Auburn a few days ago, as a matter of fact. And the other interesting thing about Geneva is that none of their starters tonight played in that game against Auburn. So everybody in the starting lineup for Geneva is playing their first game of the season, which is an interesting note to compare that to the fact that this is the Oilers' sixth game of the year. So Geneva comes to bat in the top of the first, and it is the left fielder Christian Bermudez to lead things off. Bermudez, a right-handed bat, wears number 39. Again, as mentioned, he gets the start in left field tonight. We'll take a look at the Geneva defense when the Oilers come to bat in the home half of the inning. First pitch from Menendo is a swing and a miss. And at 6:32, we are underway. Well, the Oilers' home opener was a long one. In a loss to Jamestown, 0-1 pitch is up high. A game that hit the 4-hour mark. In a game the Oilers ultimately lost 14-6 back on May 30th. Another game that Menendo started, 1-1 pitch is cut on and missed. And on that particular night, Jamestown had the fortune of having a couple of off days after that. The Tarpskunks used 7 different pitchers in that game. 1-2 pitch from Menendo out of the slow windup, swung on and hit in the air toward right. That will go foul out of play. So we'll take a look at the Geneva batting order. Christian Bermudez at the plate right now. Jackson Newton will bat second. Austin Dietz is on the mound for the Red Wings. And if any Oilers fans think that name is familiar, they're right. Dietz was a member of the Oilers a season ago. He is on the mound and batting in the 3 spot. 1-2 pitch is high and off the plate. Aiden Quintero will bat in the cleanup spot for Geneva. Dylan Abate will come to the plate 5th. Jaden Wanat 6th. CJ Orego 7th. First the 2-2 from Menendo, swung on and fouled back. Lucas Marsh, another former NYCBL player. We've seen him before. He'll bat 8th. Jackson Slater comes to the plate 9th. And again, don't forget about the extra hitter. The fact that the PGCBL uses a 10-batter lineup, and the extra hitter for Geneva is Nick Filipponi, batting in the 10 spot. 2-2 pitch is low and away. So a full count to the right-handed hitting Christian Bermudez. We saw a lot of those the other night against Jamestown. Bermudez, a native of Livingston, New Jersey, currently attends Rider University. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and chopped. That rolls down the third base line, and it's going to roll foul. Aiden Coburn over at third for the Oilers tonight. We'll take a look at Jake Menendo's defense. It's Brady Smith behind the plate for the Oilers, and we saw in the home opener a little bit of a different team as Anthony Radis was behind the plate for Olean. Jackson Diamond over at first. Thomas Bates at his usual spot at second. Aiden Coburn at third. Armanis Romero getting another start at short for the Oilers. 3-2 pitch on its way to Bermudez. Just misses ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk. So Bermudez is on base, and a tough pitch to lay off, but he ultimately does lay off of it and is rewarded. So Jackson Newton will come to the plate. Well, we'll look at the Oilers' outfield. Aiden Willard in left field. Connor Vercalone gets the start in center. And Matt Buffalo, of course, another returning Oiler, starting in right field. Very short lead off of first for Christian Bermudez as Jake Menendo has an early base runner to contend with. First one to the left-handed hitting Jackson Newton is a strike called on the inner half. Newton getting the start in center field for the Red Wings tonight. Native of Edwards, Illinois. Currently attending Marion Military. Left-handed bat stands in the back of the batter's box. 0-1 from Menendo, swung on and sent foul. That one buzzed the tower of the Geneva dugout. Well, depending on where in Illinois the great town of Edwards is, Jackson Newton's major league club may not have had the best of days. Chicago Cubs were trounced at Wrigley Field by San Francisco earlier this afternoon. Menendo in a windup. The 0-2 pitch is up high. San Francisco Giants beating the Cubs 18-3 in that game. And one that was at Wrigley Field. The Cubs have been a very up and down team this year. A leadoff first for Bermudez. The 1-2 pitch to Newton inside and low. So Jackson Newton, again, like the rest of the Red Wings, playing their first game of the season. Geneva's only played one game. It was a 12-2 loss to Auburn, in which none of the starters in tonight's lineup played. 2-2 from Menendo. Strike 3 called. He froze him. Jake Menendo has his first strikeout of the night. And a strike 3 call freezes Jackson Newton for the first out of the game. Menendo had a few strikeouts, was ultimately pulled in the early going in that game against Jamestown back on May 30th. So now it's the former Oiler Austin Dietz batting in the 3 spot. We'll also see Dietz on the mound in the bottom half of innings tonight. Left-handed bat. Wears uniform number 10. First pitch to him is upstairs, ball one. And of course, a couple of the Oilers in play tonight, teammates of Dietz last year. Jake Menendo being one of them. Thomas Bates as well, Matt Buffalo. 1-0 pitch from Menendo is high and away. Brady Smith has to get up on his feet to keep that from going to the backstop. Again, the Oilers are a team searching for a little bit more consistency from their pitching department. They've put up some runs in a lot of the games this season, but kind of some crooked numbers going the other way. As the 2-0 pitch is low and inside, that goes over top the shoelaces of Austin Dietz. Decent amount of left-handers in the Geneva lineup tonight against the righty Menendo. The 3-0 pitch swung on and missed. A big swing, and Dietz comes up empty. Austin, a native of Orchard Park, New York. He pitches for Trinity College. He's got a runner at first with one out and the count in his favor. 3-1 from Jake Menendo. Swung on and hit on the ground. Past a diving diamond, a base hit into right field. Bermudez will round second. Now he's going to head back. Bermudez thought about going for third. He had taken the turn and thought better of it. So 2 on with only one out here in the top of the first for Geneva. First hit of the game. So the first hit of the game for either side. A single from Dietz that just snuck past the glove of a diving Jackson Diamond. So runners at first and second and one out for the right-handed hitting Aiden Quintero. Menendo takes a look at Bermudez behind him, and the first pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. Quintero, a right-handed bat in the Geneva lineup. He'll get the start at first base tonight. Menendo trying to work out of a little bit of early trouble after a walk and a single allowed. Jake takes a look at Bermudez behind him. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Bermudez had a few steps away from second. Looked like it was at least a partial thought to head for third, but ultimately thought better of it and headed back. So Menendo in control. He's ahead 0-2 on Aiden Quintero. And the 0-2 pitch swung on and hit on the ground at third. Snared at third by Coburn. He'll step on the bag for one. On to first for two. A beautiful 5-3 double play sets down the Red Wings in the top of the first. And we'll make our way to the bottom half of inning number one. Oilers get out of trouble, and they'll come to bat in a scoreless game in the first inning here at Bradner Stadium. Home half of the first inning on a gorgeous night at Bradner Stadium. The Oilers and the Geneva Red Wings are scoreless. A beautiful double play kick-started by Aiden Coburn over at third base. A grounder right to him, able to step on the bag for the force out and throw on to first for two. So the Oilers will come to bat against a former Oiler. It is the left-hander Austin Dietz. And leading off for the Oilers, the center fielder Connor Vercoloni. First one to Connor is swung on and popped up. Heading back to the screen is CJ Orego, and he will watch that go out of play. So the Oilers batting order, Vercoloni leading off. Thomas Bates will bat in the 2 spot. Grant Fournier is the DH for Olean tonight. He'll bat third. Jack Painter is your extra hitter. He'll bat in the cleanup spot. The 1 pitch is just a bit low. Jackson Diamond, the Oiler first baseman, will bat fifth. Brady Smith behind the plate. He'll bat sixth. Matt Buffalo will come to the plate seventh. 1-1 pitch to Vercoloni is lifted in the air out toward left, but it's playable and caught by Bermudez for out number 1. Vercoloni gave it a ride, but Christian Bermudez had a good beat on it. And a fly out is how we get started here in the first inning. So the rest of the Oilers batting order, Aiden Coburn will bat 8th, Aiden Willard bats 9th, and the shortstop Armanis Romero will bat in the 10 spot. So nobody on, 1 out for the Oilers second baseman, and of course Olean native Thomas Bates. First one to him is taken inside and low. Again, Bates, another Oiler veteran, going into his senior year at John Carroll University. Olean High School graduate. 1-0 pitch, inside, ball 2. CJ Orego is behind the plate for Geneva, calling balls and strikes for the left-hander Austin Dietz. Take a look at the defense. First, a 2-0 pitch to Bates is on the outside corner for a strike. Aiden Quintero is at first base for the Red Wings. Jackson Slater at second. Dylan Abate at third. Lucas Marsh at short. 2-1 pitch to Bates. Bounces in the dirt, so the Oilers' second baseman in good control in this at-bat. Geneva's outfield, Christian Bermudez had to put out in left field. Jackson Newton in center, and Jaden Wanat in right. 3-1 to Bates. Swung on and rolling down the third base line. Is it going to stay fair? Yes, it will! A swinging bunt for Thomas Bates for the Oilers' first hit of the game. Any way you can find your way on is certainly of value. That one looked like it was going to roll foul, and I think Dylan Abate was waiting for it to. He kept backing up, looking for it to go foul, and it just stayed rolling right on that line. Should have pulled the Montreal Expos move from years ago and gotten down on all fours and started blowing on the baseball to get it to go into foul territory. Which is a true story for younger baseball fans. First pitch to Grant Fournier, the Oilers DH, is outside. Fournier, the first left-handed bat we've seen for the Oilers tonight, wearing number 30. A lefty-lefty matchup. 1-0 pitch to him is a strike called. Fournier couldn't figure out whether he wanted to take the swing at it. Ultimately holds up, and it's strike 1. Grant, a native of Cherry Hill, New York. Plays his college baseball at Delaware. 1-1 pitch, tries to drop down the bunt and instead pops it way up in the air. And off the back fence. So that'll take the bunt possibility off, although the swinging bunt was how Thomas Bates got on. Bates has good speed at first. We'll see if they utilize that at all. Dietz into the windup. 2-2 pitch swung on and hit on the ground towards second. Could be 2. On to second for 1. It's dropped. It is dropped by the shortstop, Lucas Marsh. So a costly error gives the Oilers 2 base runners. That's costly error. The flip from the second baseman Jackson Slater to the shortstop Lucas Marsh was dropped, and Bates able to make it in safely. So we'll see if the Oilers can make Geneva pay for the infield defensive error. And the umpire's having a conversation. It looked like they said Thomas Bates was out at second, so must be. So it looks like the Red Wings did get the put out at second, but the exchange on the double play was not in time. So instead of first and second and one out, just a runner on second, and two outs, and that takes the error off of it as well. It'll just be a simple fielder's choice. To bring up Jack Painter. Throw down to second with the runner going, and it's in time. Grant Fournier tries to snag second on the first pitch to Jack Painter, and he is gunned down. Well, the Oilers had a decent start to the bottom of the first, ultimately get a couple of outs on the base paths. After one at Bradner Stadium, the Oilers and Geneva Red Wings are scoreless. Dylan Abate will get things started for the Red Wings here in the top of the second. First pitch to him is swung on and fouled back. Oilers turned an excellent double play to end the top half of the first. Right-hander Dylan Abate gets it started against Jake Menendo in inning number 2. A 1 pitch is fouled off. Well, the game has already started better for Menendo than it did his last time out at Bradner Stadium. He pitched in the home opener against Jamestown back on May 30th. Tarp Skunks plated 6 runs, including a grand slam in the first inning of that game. 0-2 pitch is up high. In a game that ultimately hit the 4-hour mark with Jamestown winning at 14-6. 1-2 for Menendo, swung on and hit it in center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Vercoloni gets to it in time. It's a leadoff single for Dylan Abate. Second hit of the game for Geneva, and the leadoff man reaches. So that'll bring Jaden Winnat to the plate. He is the right fielder for Geneva, another right-handed bat. Where's number 32? Gwinnett, a frequent outfielder for Geneva, although, of course, as is the case with the rest of the Red Wings lineup, this is their first game of 2026. Gwinnett, a native of East Amherst, they'll check on the runner Abate at first. He's back in safely. Gwinnett attending Monroe Community College, so he's quite familiar with the Western New York area. 1-0 pitch is high and away, ball 2. We'll see CJ Orego come to the plate next. Abate has a short lead off of first. 2-0 pitch from Menendo is a strike called. Jaden Gwinnett watches that one go by. So a walk and a single given up in the first inning by Menendo, and now another single to lead off the second. Menendo also picked up a strikeout and got the benefit of the double play. The 2-1 pitch is a strike called at the bottom of the zone. It's been a pretty warm day down here in Olean, right around 80 degrees at first pitch, and it was warmer than that during the day. Finally starting to get warm after weeks of spring, not realizing it was spring. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Menendo has his second strikeout. Sends Jaden Gwinnett down swinging, and that's how we get out number 1 of the second inning, much like the first when Jackson Newton's strikeout was the first out of inning number 1. So the catcher, CJ Orego, a right-handed bat, he'll come to the plate in the 7th spot tonight. Runner at first and 1 out. Pitch to him is off the plate. Menendo would love another ground ball double play to quickly get out of this half inning. Again, another pretty short lead at first for Dylan Abate. 1-0 pitch from Menendo, strike called. Oilers in their new uniforms for the PGCBL this year. They're black jerseys with red lettering and white trim, O-Town written across the front. Geneva in their road grays, red lettering, navy blue trim. 1-1 pitch just misses high. Just barely missed the zone that time. Well, pretty much a full slate of games going on across the PGCBL. We'll keep you updated as those scores change. Here it's 2-1 to the Red Wings catcher CJ Orego, and he takes strike 2. Menendo's done a good job of painting the corners. He's frozen Geneva's hitters on a few occasions so far tonight. Menendo takes a look at Abate at first. And the 2-2 pitch just misses. Boy, another one that very, very close to the strike zone. Ultimately, Menendo does not get the call, and it's a full count to the catcher Orego. Menendo gets set, and the 3-2 pitch swung on and chopped foul, so he'll get another shot at it. Two teams already on the board in action tonight. Top of the second in Newark. The Auburn Double Days are out to a 1-0 lead over the Newark Pilots. And by the bottom of the first up in Niagara, the Ironbacks are up 1-0 on Jamestown. All other games just underway, and they are scoreless so far. One of them getting started at 7 o'clock. The 3-2 pitch misses, ball 4. So a couple of really close pitches. And ultimately, CJ Orego is rewarded with a walk. So Lucas Marsh steps up with runners at first and second and 1 out. This is the same situation that Geneva was in the first inning. Ultimately, that double play got Jake Menendo out of it. Lucas Marsh, the shortstop for Geneva tonight. Bats right-handed, wears uniform number 30. First pitch to him from Menendo inside, ball 1. Lucas Marsh, a native of Salamanca, just down the road. Currently attending West Liberty. 1-0 pitch to him, swung on and sent foul off the screen. We saw him in the NYCBL as well. Handful of NYCBL veterans for Geneva tonight. One ball, one strike, and one out. Runners at first and second. Menendo takes a look at the runner behind him. And the 1-1 offering to Marsh. Swing and a miss. Menendo able to elevate Marsh for strike two at the top of the zone. Jake's already got 2 strikeouts tonight. He would certainly love a third. Takes a look in at Brady Smith's sign. And the 1-2 pitch from Menendo swung on and popped up. That'll go out of play. Another excellent crowd at Bradner Stadium on a nice, warm, early June night. Opening night crowd against Jamestown was fantastic. Started to thin out as the temperature really dropped. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting Lucas Marsh. Menendo looks at the runners behind him, and the 1-2 pitch to Marsh. Up high. Tried to elevate him and just lost the control a little bit that time, so the count will go even at 2 apiece. Other games going on across the PGCBL tonight. The Batavia Muck Dogs hosting the Niagara Falls American. That game scoreless in the bottom of the first. 2-2 pitch to Marsh. Swung on and chopped on the ground. Romero has it at short. On to second for 1 to first, and it's dropped at first by Jackson Diamond. Diamond will run to pick it up, and a run will score. So they get the out at second. But the throw from Bates not held onto by Diamond, and Geneva capitalizes on the error. It's 1-0. So Geneva ahead 1-0. So they'll score that one as an error on the second baseman, Thomas Bates. First one to Jackson Slater is swung on and missed. So Dylan Abate trots home. Arrego was out at second, but the throw by Bates was wild. They'll check on the runner at first. He's back in safely. Jackson Slater, a right-handed bat, second baseman for Geneva tonight. Batting in the 9 spot, wears uniform number 2. First one to him, or the 0-1 from Menendo, swung on and hit on the ground. It rolls to Thomas Bates. He's got it, throws to first in time for out number 3. So an error, a throwing error by the Oilers infield, brings home a run for Geneva, but no further damage done. We'll make our way to the home half of the second. Geneva leading the Oilers 1-0 at Bradner Stadium. 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming to the plate for the Oilers to lead off the home half of the second, trailing 1-0 after an error brought a run home. Jack Painter stands in. He swings at the first pitch and sends it just foul down the third base line. Painter was at the plate in the bottom of the first when Grant Fournier was thrown out trying to steal second. So it'll be Painter followed by Jackson Diamond and Brady Smith. Painter takes the 0-1 pitch for a called strike 2. Other games going on in the PGCBL. The Glens Falls Dragons scoreless with the Amsterdam Mohawks. That game just got started. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Jack Painter. And the pitch from Austin Dietz. Up high, ball 2. Oilers were incredibly selective in the home opener against Jamestown. They drew a lot of walks in that game. Biggest problem was they couldn't get enough hits to bring those guys home to score. One other game going on in the PGCBL tonight just started at 7 o'clock. The Oneonta Outlaws at home against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. That game scoreless in Oneonta, just underway a couple of minutes ago. 2-2 pitch to Jack Painter, up high, ball 3. Jack did a nice job to come back from down 0-2 to make it a full count. A score update in that game in Newark. Auburn Doubledays now up 3-0 as Painter sends this one into foul territory. That will drop foul. The Auburn Doubledays leading the Newark Pilots now 3-0 in the bottom of the second. Auburn looking like they're going to be a very tough team. Again, they've only played 1 game so far this year. 1-0, and they are off to a good start to go to 2-0. 3-2 pitch, strike 3 called. Oh, Painter thought it was ball 4, ultimately just caught the corner. And he's caught looking. First strikeout for Austin Dietz. And a backwards K in the book next to Jack Painter's name. So Jackson Diamond, the Oiler first baseman, will come to bat with nobody on and 1 out. Diamond, a right-handed bat, wears number 28, getting the start at first base tonight. Swings at the first pitch and sends it down the left field line. That's a base hit. Diamond rounding first. He's going to stop there. Puts on the brakes. It's going to be a long single, but the Oilers have their second hit of the night. Attacking on the first pitch, Jackson Diamond wasting no time. Saw a pitch he liked. Sent that one rolling right down the left field line for a base hit. Christian Bermudez did a nice job to get to it in time. Otherwise, that probably would have ended up being a double. Diamond didn't want to risk it, considering the fact that Oilers have already had a couple of outs on the base paths in this game. First one to Brady Smith is a called strike. Smith, the catcher for the Oilers tonight. A right-handed bat in their lineup, wears number 31. And Brady has a very accurate walk-up song. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and fouled back. Brady comes up to the plate to the tune of Land Down Under, which makes a lot of sense as he is a native of Fulham, Australia. Going into his junior year at Gannon down in Erie. So I would assume that being here as opposed to Australia at this time of the year is not too bad as the seasons are flipped. So they're experiencing their winter as the 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Second strikeout in the inning for Austin Dietz. Smith is down on just a couple of pitches. And that'll bring Matt Buffalo to the plate. So Matt, again, another player who was an Oiler last year, changed his number. He wore number 19 for the Oilers last year. He's got number 5 on his back now. Getting the start in right field tonight and batting in the 7 spot. First one to him from Austin Dietz is a called strike. Buffalo, a right-handed bat from Pine Bush, New York. Not Buffalo, but he does go to college there. He plays his college baseball at Canisius. 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. I guess very aptly named if you're going to play not only for a school that's in Western New York and in the Buffalo area, but is in the city itself. Feel like if someone with the last name of Allegheny played for the Bonnies. That one swung on and hit. Base hit to right center field. Rounding second and heading for third is Jackson Diamond. He'll get there standing up. It's a base hit for Matt Buffalo, the second of the inning. Oilers have him at first and third with 2 outs, and Aiden Coburn will try and get a run home and tie this game. So the Oilers so far in this inning have gone strikeout, single, strikeout, single. Aiden Coburn hoping that that pattern does not continue. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. I don't know if they'd want to send Buffalo. They already tested C.J. Arago's arm once and it didn't work out for him. Grant Fournier tried to steal second in the first inning. That one is a strike call, dropped by Arago, but still a strike nonetheless. Oilers have 3 hits. They only had 4 in the entire home opener against Jamestown, but still scored 6 runs, a testament to how many walks they drew. 0-1 from Dietz, swung on and hit to right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Diamond trots home and the Oilers tie the game. 3rd hit of the inning for the Oilers, all singles. 4th hit of the game, and Olean ties it at 1. Situational hitting coming through for the Oilers as Aiden Coburn drives in the run. Diamond able to trot home. Now with runners at first and second, and Aiden Willard coming up. In a lefty-lefty matchup, Oilers are in a spot where they could possibly take the lead here in the bottom of the second. So Willard at the plate against the lefty Austin Dietz. He swings at the first pitch and pops it up in foul territory off the third base side. This will go out of play. Takes a bounce in the Geneva bullpen. So Aiden Willard, the left fielder for the Oilers tonight. He's a left-handed bat, native of Palmyra, Pennsylvania, going into his freshman year at Delaware. So he'll be a college teammate of Grant Fournier. Another Oiler just finishing up his high school year. 0-1 to Willard, swung on and fouled away. Oilers have a handful of players who will be going into their freshman year in college next year, including pitcher Austin Miles from Olean. Willard stands in on an 0-2 pitch. Dietz takes a look behind him, and the 0-2 offering off the plate. So a good eye by the youngster to let that one go. That sometimes tends to be a pitch that for younger batters is tough to lay off of because of the fear of striking out looking. Rather swing at a bad one than not swing at a good one. 1-2 pitch is swung on and lifted in the air out to left. Bermudez is there, and he'll put it away for out number 3. The Oilers leave 2 on, but with 3 hits in the inning, all singles, a run comes home to score, and the Oilers tie the game. We're headed to the 3rd inning at Bradner Stadium. The Oilers and Geneva Red Wings tied at 1. So the extra hitter leading off for Geneva in the top of the third in a 1-1 ball game. The 10-1 and 2 batters. As remember, the PGCBL allows for a 10-batter lineup. Jake Menendo out there for another inning. Nick Filipponi will lead it off for Geneva. First pitch from Menendo is a strike called. Oilers had 3 hits in the home half of the second, all 3 singles. And Aiden Coburn drove home the run. 0-1 pitch off the plate, ball 1. Geneva has 2 hits of their own in this game. As the 1-1 pitch is just off the plate, ball 2. Oiler faithful not particularly enthused with the call. So we'll see Filipponi followed by Christian Bermudez and Jackson Newton in this half inning. 2-1 pitch misses the zone. Another one the Oilers fans don't care for. Boy, we saw some close pitches, especially in that second inning. Menendo certainly, when he's missing, he's not missing by much. The 3-1 pitch swung on and hit on the ground past a diving Romero, base hit. Third hit of the game for Geneva, and a leadoff single for the extra hitter, Nick Filipponi. So they've had traffic on the base paths in every inning. We only had, in the Olean Jamestown game, total across 9 innings, across 18 half innings, there were 2 1-2-3 innings. There were more innings that had there were more innings that had 3 or more runs scored in them than there were innings that went down in order in that game. So Christian Bermudez at the plate. They'll check on the runner at first. He's back in safely. Bermudez walked to lead off the game. Was ultimately part of the 5-3 double play that ended the top half of the first inning. First one to him here, a big swing and a miss on a pitch that was downstairs. Of course, a big night for sports, not only in the PGCBL, but Game 2 of the NBA Finals later tonight between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. They'll check on the runner first. He's back in safely. Stanley Cup Final Series has completed 2 games, tied 1 apiece between Vegas and Carolina. A series that for a lot of people in Western New York is probably pretty tough to watch. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed, even though it went to the backstop. Of course, tough to watch in a different way than Stanley Cup Final Series have been around here over the last handful of years. This year, the knowledge of what could have been, maybe if the Sabres got past Montreal, they could have given Carolina a run for their money, but an excellent season of hockey nonetheless, and fans in Olean hoping that maybe Oilers' season turns out the same. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Bermudez strikes out. First out of the third inning, third strikeout for Jake Menendo. That'll bring Jackson Newton to the plate. Newton was a strikeout victim back in the first. Menendo caught him looking on a strike 3 pitch. Newton, a lefty in the Geneva lineup. First pitch to him from Jake Menendo, swung on and fouled back out of play. So Menendo squares back in again. Pretty short leads at first for Nick Filipponi. 0-1 pitch with the runner going, pitches in the dirt. Throw down to second is in time. A fantastic throw from Brady Smith behind the plate, and the runner is gunned down. The pitch was in the dirt, a ball, but out number 2 as Nick Filipponi is thrown out trying to snag second base. So now no traffic behind Menendo. With 2 outs, he can just focus his efforts on Jackson Newton. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Again, as a reminder, Oilers back at home tomorrow night at the same time. They'll host the Niagara Ironbacks at 6:30. 1-2 pitch just off the plate. As for Geneva, they'll be on the road again tomorrow, heading to Elmira to face the Pioneers. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. After a leadoff single, a fantastic inning for Jake Menendo and a great arm throw from Brady Smith. We're going to the bottom of the third. It's a 1-1 game between the Geneva Red Wings and the Olean Oilers at Bradner Stadium. Home half of inning number 3 here at Bradner Stadium. The Oilers and Geneva Red Wings tied at 1. The 10-1 and 2 batters will come to the plate for Olean. Armanis Romero gets a shot at Austin Dietz to start the bottom half of inning number 3. Romero, the right-handed hitting shortstop, checks his swing on the first pitch and did not go. We'll see Romero followed by Connor Vercoloni and Thomas Bates. 1-0 pitch to Romero, taken inside and low. Armanis, a native of Roxbury, Massachusetts. 2-0 pitch is swung on and fouled away. Being from the state of Massachusetts, if Armanis does happen to be a fan of the New England Patriots, he probably should not broadcast that in the PGCBL. 2-1 pitch is low, ball 3. So it's going to be quite the battle between the Patriots and Bills for the AFC East in the fall for sure. 3-1 pitch, up and in, ball 4, a leadoff walk. Romero does a good job being selective. He's rewarded with a base on balls to start the home half of the third. So traffic in every inning for the Oilers so far, and it'll recycle to the top of the order. Connor Vercoloni. Vercoloni flew out to left back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Connor, a native of Plymouth, Massachusetts, heading into his redshirt senior year just down the road at St. Bonaventure. First one to Vercoloni is taken for a ball high and inside. Oilers looking for their first home win in the PGCBL. come in with a 2-3 record. 1-0 pitch to Vercoloni, lifted in the air toward left center. That's dropping. That is caught. A sliding grab by Christian Bermudez. And Bermudez has gotten the better of Connor Vercoloni now twice. So a fly ball out to left, caught. A fantastic sliding grab by Bermudez out and left. That's how we get the first out of the home half of the third. So Thomas Bates will come to the plate next. Bates singled back in the first inning. Was out on a fielder's choice off the bat of Grant Fournier. First pitch to Bates is swung on, gloved at third. A great play, and the throw on to first nearly it pulls Quintero off the bag, but gets the foot back on in time for out number 2. A great stop by Dylan Abate over at third. Fantastic stop over at third. Romero heads for second. So Geneva putting on a defensive clinic here in the bottom half of the third. That's what you want to see. Some good defense played by both sides, and we've, for the most part, seen that so far. So Grant Fournier, the DH, will bat now a meeting on the mound as CJ Arrego will head down to chat with Austin Dietz. Grant Fournier reached on a fielder's choice in the bottom of the first and was thrown out trying to steal second. On an excellent throw from CJ Arrego, both catchers have gunned down a base runner in this game. First one there, check swing. And Fournier did not go. Lefty-lefty matchup. Grant, again, the native of Cherry Hill, New York. 1-0 pitch to him from Dietz is swung on and hit down the right field line. That's a fair ball, a base hit. Rounding third and coming home to score is Romero. On his horse, heading for second is Fournier. He is out. He slid off the bag at second. He is out. The run does score, but Fournier thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double. So an RBI single, but then ultimately thrown out at second. A run does score, and the Oilers have a 2-1 lead heading to the fourth at Bradner Stadium. Top of the fourth inning, and Austin Dietz will come to the plate for Geneva. Now trails 2-1. First pitch to him is swung on and popped up in foul territory. Aiden Coburn calling everybody else off and reaches up and makes the catch. One pitch and one out. Good start to the inning for Jake Menendo on the mound. And he's certainly gotten some help from terrific defense from Aiden Coburn over at third base. He has had a very, very nice game so far. So another Aiden Quintero bats now for Geneva with nobody on and one out. Quintero grounded into a double play to retire the side in the first. He swings the first pitch and pops it up. That'll go out of play. So first pitch swinging in both the first two at-bats for Geneva here in the top of the fourth. Menendo into the windup. The 0-1 pitch swung on and hit on a line and caught by Romero for out number 2. That one well struck by Quintero, but Armanis Romero was in the right spot and able to read that perfectly for out number 2. First two sent down quickly. Now Dylan Abate comes up with nobody on and 2 outs. Abate led off the top of the second with a single and then came home to score Geneva's only run. Takes a first pitch low. One-zero pitch is a strike called. Boy, the Auburn Doubleday's looking very good in Newark tonight. Looking to go to 2-0 as they lead the Newark Pilots 5-0 in the bottom of the third. 1-1 pitch from Menendo, swung on and hit down the line past a diving Jackson Diamond for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Dylan Abate. He's 2 for 2 tonight. 4th hit of the game for Geneva. And the line keeps moving to the right fielder, Jaden Winnat. Winnat was a strikeout victim against Jake Menendo in the second inning. Couple of other score updates across the PGCBL. Bottom of the first in Glens Falls. The Amsterdam Mohawks on the road have taken a 2-0 lead over the Glens Falls Dragons. First pitch to Winnat is taken low. And one other score update. Top of the second inning in Oneonta, the home Outlaws have a 2-0 lead over the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. 1-0 pitch is inside, and that gets a piece of Jaden Winnat. So Winnat is hit by the 1-0 pitch, and after quickly setting down the first 2 batters on only 3 pitches, back-to-back have reached for Geneva. So CJ Orrego comes to the plate now. Orrego was walked in the second inning. First and second and 2 outs for the right-handed hitting catcher for Geneva. Menendo taking a look behind him. And that one swung on and fouled back. As many foul balls do, that one heading into State Street right behind Bradner Stadium. Red Wings have Dylan Abate at second and Jaden Winnat at first. CJ Orrego at the plate. 0-1 offering from Jake Menendo is taken just high and inside, ball 1. Again, there have been a handful of pitches tonight from Menendo that if they've missed, they certainly have not missed by much. And another one there. A ball and a strike to the Red Wings catcher. And the pitch from Menendo taken up high, ball 2. Geneva's uniforms are very reminiscent of the old Cincinnati Reds uniforms in the big red machine days. Frank Robinson, Joe Morgan. Throw in Pete Rose, too. They'll check on the runner at second. He's back in safely. Cincinnati had some fantastic teams back in the mid-70s. Won a couple of World Series titles. Won one in 1990 as well. Two balls and a strike pitch from Menendo. Swung on and popped up in foul territory. Jackson Diamond going over, but he'll watch that head into the seats. And that one caught nicely by a fan just below the press box. Couldn't quite see it, but I'm sure it was a great catch. So we'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes on CJ Orego. Menendo taking a look in at the sign given to him by Brady Smith. And the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. He got him. Smith's going to have to throw down to first to complete the putout, and he does just that. So a strikeout ends the top of the fourth. 2 runners left on, and we're making our way to the home half of inning number 4 at Bradner Stadium. The Oilers lead the Geneva Red Wings 2-1. Bottom of the fourth inning here at Bradner Stadium. The Oilers leading the Geneva Red Wings 2-1. Another inning of work for the left-hander Austin Dietz, and that one inside and hits Jack Painter. So Olean has a very quick base runner here in the bottom of the fourth as Painter gets plunked. So he's on base for the first time tonight, and that'll bring Jackson Diamond up. Diamond singled and scored back in the second inning. His run initially tied the game before the Oilers took the lead last inning on an RBI single from Grant Fournier. Lefty-righty matchup as the right-handed hitting Diamond swings at the first one and fouls it back. Jackson, a native of Johnson City, Tennessee, heading into his redshirt year at Murray State. Not far away from the Smoky Mountain Range down in Tennessee, from the Smoky Mountains to the Allegheny Mountains for Diamond, as the 0-1 pitch is low. And for fellow country music fans like myself, Johnson City is not terribly far from the original Copperhead Road, the actual Copperhead Road. It's not too far from there. One ball, one strike. Diamond swings and hits this one in the air toward deep center, but that is playable, and that will be caught by Jackson Newton for out number one. So a fly ball again. Diamond gives it a ride, but ultimately Jackson Newton in a good spot, and he'll make the catch for out number one. That'll bring the man from the land down under, Brady Smith. Will bat with a runner at first and one out. Smith was a strikeout victim back in the second, swinging and missing at an 0-2 pitch last time. First one to him here is a called strike. We always talk about catchers seem to know the strike zone. In theory, they would know the strike zone better than just about anybody else at the plate, and that was the case for Brady Smith. Didn't really swing at anything outside the zone. He swings at this one and sends it in the air toward right. That is dropping. That is down. It's a fair ball. Just drops fair. Heading for third is Jack Painter. He's going to hold there. A hard turn around second base for Brady Smith, but he's back in safely. It's a double down the right field line, and the Oilers have him at second and third. Sixth hit of the game for Olean, and now Matt Buffalo has a chance to really do some damage. First extra base hit we've seen for either team tonight. Jack Painter at third, Brady Smith at second, and here comes Matt Buffalo. Buffalo singled back in the second. Infield will play in for Geneva. Anything on the ground's going home. First one to Buffalo is chopped exactly on the ground, but foul. So Matt Buffalo in a very ideal spot for a hitter here with the sacrifice situation in play. Fly ball will get a run home. Base hit will probably get two home. 0-1 pitch to him, swung on and hit on the ground to second, and no play at the plate. They'll just take the out at first. So Buffalo does a good job and puts it in play, gets the RBI, and it's 3-1 Oilers. So Jack Painter comes home to score on the RBI ground out off the bat of Matt Buffalo. Would have been a very, very close play at home, so Jackson Slater did not want to risk it. First pitch to Aiden Coburn is a called strike. Brady Smith heads over to third. Runner at third, two outs. Oilers now enjoying a two-run lead. The 0-1 pitch swung on and hit on the ground. Snared at third by Dylan Abate. And the throw to first is in time. Oilers leave one in scoring position but get one home thanks to an RBI ground out off the bat of Matt Buffalo. Oilers leading the Geneva Red Wings 3-1 after 4 innings of play at Bradner Stadium. Half of inning number 5 here in Olean. Jake Menendo again on the mound, and the first pitch to Lucas Marsh is a called strike. Oilers on top 3-1 here at Bradner Stadium. I'm Matt Volz. We'll see the 8, 9, and 10 batters in the inning. The 0-1 pitch skips in the dirt and heads back to the backstop. Marsh will be followed by Jackson Slater and Nick Filipponi in this top half of inning number 5 as Geneva looks to respond from the Oilers adding one more run to their lead. Last half inning, 1-1 pitch from Menendo is a called strike. Fans like that, as there have been a handful of pitches in a similar location that have just barely missed tonight. Marsh stands in, Menendo into the windup, the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, he struck him out. Menendo picks up another strikeout to start the top of the 5th. Lucas Marsh is down swinging. 6th strikeout for Jake Menendo in 4 1/3 innings of work so far. And Jackson Slater comes to the plate. First pitch to him is just off the plate. Jackson Slater 0 for 1 in the game, grounded out back into second. Menendo a very slow windup, 1-0 pitch, low, ball 2. So Menendo falling behind. Got a couple of other score updates across the PGCBL. 2-0 pitch swung on and sent foul out of play. So we'll get to those score updates now. The game continues to get worse for the Newark Pilots. They trail the Auburn Doubledays 7-0 in the bottom of the 4th now. Top of the 4th inning in Batavia. And the home Muck Dogs have a 2-0 lead over the Niagara Falls Americans. That one lifted in the air towards center. Connor Vercoloni makes the catch for out number 2. Vercoloni didn't really have to move very far. He was in a good spot and makes the catch for the inning's second out. That'll bring Nick Filipponi to the plate. Filipponi singled in the 3rd and was thrown out trying to steal second. Other games remain the same. Glens Falls leading Amsterdam 2-0. Oneonta leading Mohawk Valley 2-0 as well. First pitch to Filipponi is a called strike. So a handful of close games, and then Auburn having an excellent night in Newark. The 0-1 pitch, check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 2. So Menendo quickly ahead and looking to finish this off and make it a rather quick 5th inning. 0-2 pitch from Menendo. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A great inning for Jake Menendo, sending the Red Wings down in order and picking up 2 strikeouts. In the process, he's got 7 on the night. We are halfway through this game. Oilers leading the Geneva Red Wings 3-1 at Bradner Stadium. Aiden Willard will come to the plate to start the bottom of the 5th inning for the Oilers. They lead the Geneva Red Wings 3-1. It'll be the 9, 10, and 1 batters coming to the plate in the home half of the 5th. Aiden Willard, followed by Armanis Romero and Connor Vercaloni. First pitch to Willard is way high and inside. That one buzzed the tower. Willard had to duck to get out of the way of that. Willard flew out to left his first time up. That was back in the 2nd inning. Another inning of work for Austin Dietz. The 1-0 pitch to Willard swung on and hit shallow in the air to short and caught by Lucas Marsh for out number 1. So a soft pop out is how we get started in the home half of the 5th, and that'll bring Armanis Romero to the plate. Romero walked to lead off the bottom of the 3rd and came around to score on the sacrifice groundout off the bat of Matt Buffalo. Or rather, that was the 2nd run of the game on the RBI single from Grant Fournier when he was thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double. First pitch is a strike to Romero. So Armani's trying to get on base for the 2nd time. Lifts this one in the air out to deep left. That is going to get down at the base of the wall. Romero rounding first. He's headed for 2nd and he'll be in there standing up. A great night so far for Armanis Romero. Oilers have their 7th hit of the night. And Romero with a double to put himself immediately in scoring position. 2nd extra base hit of the night for the Oilers, as Brady Smith doubled last inning. That one very well placed by Romero, and it recycles to the top of the order. So Connor Vercaloni, who has flown out to left in both of his plate appearances tonight, those back in the 1st and 3rd innings. I'll try to see if he can get Romero home from 2nd. A big lead off 2nd base for Armanis. First pitch to Vercaloni is off the plate. A big lead off of 2nd. Romero had that time. We'll see if he keeps it. Quite the ambitious lead. Both feet on the grass. Romero trying to get in Austin Dietz's head. The 1-0 pitch off the plate, ball 2. Vercaloni stands in, another righty in a right-handed heavy Oilers lineup. Dietz taking a lot of looks at Romero behind him for good reason. Armanis wandering way off that bag. 2-0 pitch is swung on and lifted in the air toward right. One Nat going back. He will make the catch, tagging, and heading for 3rd is Romero. He'll be in there safely. That one backed up well by the Geneva infield, so a fly out off the bat of Connor Vercaloni makes him 0 for 3 tonight. Oilers do get the runner over to 3rd, so anything back to the backstop or put in play, Romero's going to be coming home. Second out of the 5th inning. First one to Thomas Bates is taken low. And again, this is where behind the plate defense is going to be really paramount for CJ Arrego. Anything gets back to the backstop, and Romero's coming home. 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2. Bates trying to find his way on and maybe drive a run in the process. Dietz taking a look in at the sign from CJ Arrego. And the 2-0 pitch swung on and lifted in the air toward right, going back in right field and not making the catch. One Nat can't make the catch, it drops. Bates around 2nd. He's going for 3rd. The throw to 3rd is not going to be in time. The Oilers have a 4-1 lead as Jaden Winnett couldn't find it out and right. So they'll give Thomas Bates the triple, an RBI triple for Thomas Bates, and the Oilers have a 4-1 lead. That one kind of tough to score as Winnett couldn't find it, was on his horse trying to get back to it and ultimately couldn't make the play. First pitch to Fournier is inside. So Armanis Romero has scored 2 runs tonight. Fournier tries to drop down the bunt, pulls the bat back. Of course, you're only dropping down a bunt here if you're absolutely sure you've got the speed to make it down the first base line. And the other half of that battle is you've got to make sure it's a picture-perfect bunt. 2-0 pitch is in the dirt. That's low. And Bates is going to try to come home to score. The throw to the plate is going to be in time for out number 3. The flip back to the pitcher, Dietz covering, and Dietz just able to tag Thomas Bates. So that'll end the home half of the 5th. Another out on the base paths, but the Oilers bring another run home. We'll make our way to the 6th inning at Bradner Stadium. Oilers leading the Geneva Red Wings 4-1 at Bradner Stadium. Top of the 6th inning, Geneva coming to bat, and the top of the order due up. First pitch to Christian Bermudez is a ball. Another inning of work for Jake Menendo, who has pitched a very good game so far tonight. Set the Red Wings down in order back in the 5th. 1-0, swung on and missed. Oilers out hitting Geneva 8-4 in this game. Bermudez walked in the first inning, struck out in the 3rd. 1-1 pitch from Menendo, swung on and chopped on the ground and snared by Coburn. Lined right to Coburn at 3rd for out number 1. Boy, Aiden Coburn has had a very good game, both in terms of offense and defense, as he singled in the 2nd inning, and he's made some great plays over at 3rd tonight. Jackson Newton drops down the bunt, but sends it foul. Newton trying to avoid the ever-famous sombrero. He's got 2 strikeouts, trying to avoid the hat trick. Struck out looking in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 3rd. The left-hander Jackson Newton, the 0-1 pitch from Menendo. Swing and a miss, couldn't catch up with that. Menendo doing a great job just to catch those corners, and really he's had a lot of swing and miss stuff tonight. 0-2 to Newton. Just high. Barely. So Menendo sets back in after just missing with the 0-2 pitch. Again into the slow windup, and the 1-2 on its way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Oh, Newton's got the unfortunate hat trick Strikeout number 8 for Jake Menendo tonight. And the third for Jackson Newton. So Austin Dietz will come to the plate. Dietz singled in the first, popped out in the fourth. Geneva catcher trying to help himself. First one from Menendo is inside a ball. One run, 4 hits, no errors for Geneva. The Oilers, 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. 1-0 pitch inside, ball 2. Ultimately, the throwing error did not come back to hurt the Oilers. 2-0 pitch swung on and missed. That was back in the second inning. A throw from Thomas Bates got away from Jackson Diamond at first. That was with 2 outs, and the next batter grounded out, so it didn't hurt the Oilers. 2-1 pitch swung on and chopped foul. Menendo sent the Red Wings down in order in the 5th. He's hoping to do that again right here. And the 2-2 pitch from Jake Menendo. That one skips in the dirt. It's been a little while since we've seen a full count with Menendo pitching. It's actually the first one since C.J. Arago's at bat back in the second inning. 3-2 pitch, low, ball 4, and a 2-out walk issued to Austin Dietz. Second time Dietz has been on base tonight. So then ends a run of 6 straight set down by Menendo and extends the inning to Aiden Quintero. Quintero grounded into a double play in the first and lined out in the 4th. Austin Dietz, a relatively short lead off of first. First one to Quintero is swung on and popped up into shallow left center field. We'll see who wants this one. Settling under it and making the grab is Aiden Willard. So a 2-out walk, but no further damage done. Jake Menendo is rolling. We'll make our way to the bottom of the 6th at Bradner Stadium. Oilers still leading the Geneva Red Wings 4-1 at Bradner Stadium. Grant Fournier back at the plate to start the bottom of the 6th. Another inning of work for Austin Dietz. Fournier was at the dish when Thomas Bates was thrown out, going for home on a pitch that got away from the catcher. First pitch is a ball. Grant reached on a fielder's choice, but was picked off trying to steal second back in the first inning. 1-0 pitch to him is inside. Brought home a run with a single in the 3rd, but was thrown out trying to stretch that single into a double. 2-0 pitch to him here, swung on and missed. So we'll see Fournier followed by Jack Painter and Jackson Diamond for the Oilers here in the home half of the sixth. This game was scoreless after one inning. Oilers have played it exactly one run in every inning since. Geneva put one on the board in the top of the second. 2-1 pitch is a strike called. Two and two, the pitch. Low ball three. So again, been a little while since we've seen a full count. The last one for the Oilers was Jack Painter's at bat in the second. That one lifted in the air toward left. Going over is Bermudez at the line, and he makes the catch. So a nice catch by Christian Bermudez. He's been busy out in left field tonight and makes the catch for out number one. That'll bring the extra hitter, Jack Painter, to the plate. Painter struck out looking in the second, was hit by a pitch, and scored in the fourth. Nobody on, one out for the left-handed hitting Painter. First pitch to him, just misses, ball one. Tough one to lay off of, but Jack does, and it works out for him. Lefty-lefty matchup between him and Dietz. The 1-0 pitch swung on and lifted high in the air, out toward left center field, going back at the wall and making the catch right in front of the track is Jackson Newton for out number two. Jack Painter just missed that. So that'll bring Jackson Diamond to the plate. Diamond singled and scored in the second, flew out to center in the fourth. First two batters of the home half of the sixth have been set down, both via the flyout. First pitch to Jackson Diamond, skips in the dirt, heads all the way back to the backstop with nobody on base for the Oilers. Really no harm, no foul. So a little bit of activity in the Red Wings bullpen, but for now it is still the left-hander Austin Dietz. Dietz has not pitched a bad game in this one, though. The Oilers have had a couple of good timely hits. 1-0 pitch is up high. 8 to be exact. And 4 runs have crossed the plate. For Genesee, 4 hits, or for Geneva, 4 hits and 1 run. 2-0 pitch is up high. Geneva scored that first run of the game. They took a 1-0 lead in the second. Oilers tied it in that inning. 3-0 pitch inside and low. A 4-pitch, 2-out walk to Jackson Diamond. He's on base for the second time tonight. So both pitchers issuing 2-out walks in the sixth inning, and Brady Smith will come to the plate. So now the Red Wings will have a meeting on the mound. Brady Smith struck out in the second, doubled in the fourth. So a meeting on the mound for Geneva. Decent speed on first with Jackson Diamond. It'll be a right-hander coming to the plate. Does not look like Geneva's going to make a pitching change right now. They are warming up a couple of relievers in their bullpen. But for right now, Dietz still on the mound, and he will stay out there. So just a quick meeting for Dietz to regain some composure after the 2-out walk. Of course, Oilers fans know him well, with him being a former member of the team. Runner at first, 2 outs. Brady Smith trying to see if he can't put one in play and maybe get a run home to add to this Oiler lead. Jackson Diamond has his lead off of first. First pitch to Brady Smith up high. Big spot in the game to potentially make Austin Dietz pay for the 2-out walk. Dietz into the windup, the 1-0 pitch, swung on and fouled back. Smith just missed that. A couple of other score updates across the PGCBL we'll get to in a moment. After Brady Smith stands in for the 1-1 pitch from Austin Dietz. Dietz into the windup, and the 1-1 pitch swung on and missed a big swing. Smith coming up empty. Well, you can say that things have gone from bad to worse in Newark as the Pilots trail the Auburn Doubledays 8-0 in the top of the 6th. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Oiler catcher, Brady Smith. That one swung on and popped up, and that'll go out of play. One other score update, Amsterdam has added a run onto their lead. They lead the Glens Falls Dragons 3-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Run up in Glens Falls. A ball and 2 strikes, Brady Smith standing in to try and keep the inning going. Dietz will step off the mound, and they've got Diamond in a rundown. Jackson Diamond wandered too far off the bag. He's going to try and race for second, and he is out. So for the 3rd time in this game, the Oilers are gunned down on the base paths to end an inning. We are through 6. As Diamond is caught stealing, we'll make our way to the 7th at Bradner Stadium. Oilers still on top, 4-1. Number 5 spot hitter Dylan Abate leading things off for the Geneva Red Wings in the top half of inning number 7. Red Wings trying to rally back from a 4-1 deficit. Jake Menendo's night on the mound is done, and it was a great one. 6 innings of work. Menendo strikes out 8, only allows 4 hits and 1 run. So he will give way to the left-hander Mark Holm, who comes into the game and throws a first pitch strike to Dylan Abate. So Mark Holm, a senior from Bracebridge, Ontario, going into his senior year just down the road at St. Bonaventure. 0-1 pitch, swung on and chopped foul. Oilers or the Bonnies rather will certainly be lucky next spring. They've got a handful of really solid pitchers between Mark Holm, Jackson Ross, and some other excellent players. Hoping to see if the Bonnies could make a deep run in the Atlantic 10 in the spring. 0-2 pitch from Holmes, swung on and fouled back. We will see Dylan Abate, Jaden Wanat, and CJ Orego in this inning for Geneva. Mark Holm pitched in the game against Jamestown, the home opener back on May 30th. Pitched pretty well in relief of a game that Menendo started. 0-2 pitch, check swing, did he go? No. The Oilers disappointed with that. Abate is 2 for 2 coming into this plate appearance. Singled and scored in the second, singled in the fourth. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Holm takes a look, and the 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled back, and we'll do it again. Again, a fantastic crowd at Bradner Stadium in a game that has gone noticeably quicker than the game we had last week against Jamestown. That game crossed the 4-hour mark in a 14-6 Tarp Skunks win. 1-2 pitch just misses. Holmes' pitch just a little bit high. Lefty-righty matchup as Holm tries to send us to the stretch and keep the Oilers in front by 3. Some good run support in the game tonight. 2-2 pitch from Holm. Low ball 3. So after a while of not having too many full counts, it's the second one we've seen in as many innings for Geneva batters. Really hasn't been a whole lot of going deep into counts tonight. 3-2 pitch from Holm, low ball 4. And after a strong start to the plate appearance, it ends up in a leadoff walk. So Abate is on base for the 3rd time tonight. He's the only Red Wing who has reached base in all 3 plate appearances. And he'll give way to Jaden Wanat. Wanat struck out back in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch in the 4th. First one here from Mark Holm, just misses inside ball 1. Very short lead off of first for Dylan Abate. He is not typically a base stealer for them, but still Jackson Diamond at the ready just in case. 1-0 offering from Holmes, swing and a miss. Big swing from Wanat, and he ultimately comes up empty. Another lefty-righty matchup. All 3 due up in this inning righties, with CJ Orego, the catcher, on deck. They'll check on the runner at first. Almost got him. Oh, Abate had wandered a ways off that first base bag. And a quick snap throw from Holm almost got him. Very close play over at first. 1-1 pitch from Holm. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back big swings that Wanat has come up empty on. So he'll dig back in at 1-2. Holm will take a good look. Another snap throw back down to first. A bait back in safely. Again, not too strong of a lead for the Red Wings third baseman. Holmes still looking over, and the 1-2 pitch on its way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. After the first pitch missed, Jaden Winnett swings and misses at 3 straight, and Mark Holm has his first strikeout of the night in relief. So that'll bring up the Red Wings catcher C.J. Orego, who has reached base once tonight. Orego walked back in the second and struck out in the fourth. And the windup, first pitch from Holm is up high. Holm would love to get a nice ground ball to Romero and try and turn two. (102) Orego pitch is high and off the plate. Good job by Brady Smith to keep that one in front. Orego has seen a handful of pitches. Walked on a 3-2 pitch back in the second. Swung and missed at a 2-2 in the fourth. So he's seen a handful. Seen some strikes as well. Holm into the windup. The 2-0 swung on and fouled away. That one will head over the press box and probably head into State Street, I presume. So Orego will stand back in. 2 balls and a strike. Again, keeping a close eye on Dylan Abate over at first. 2-1 pitch from Holmes. Swung on and hit up the middle. Bates diving stop to get it. Out at second. Throw to first. What a play! The Oilers turn a double play for the second time tonight. Thomas Bates with a diving stop. The flip to Romero. And the throw on to first for the 6-4-3 double play. It's time to stretch in Olean. Oilers leading the Geneva Red Wings 4-1. Bottom of the seventh inning on an awfully nice night for a baseball game at Bradner Stadium, and the Oilers enjoying a 4-1 lead. 6, 7, and 8 batters come into the plate. Brady Smith will lead things off. Home half of the seventh. New arm on the mound for Geneva. First pitch is a called strike. It is the right-hander Caden Brialt, number 7, on the mound for Geneva in relief of Austin Dietz. That one swung on and hit toward right, but making the play is Jaden Wanat for out number 1. So both teams have gone into their bullpens now. That'll bring up Matt Buffalo. He's got an RBI tonight. Singled in the second and drove in a run with an RBI back in the fourth. First one to Buffalo is taken low. We'll see Buffalo followed by Aiden Coburn. 1-0 pitch low. Now Buffalo's had a very good night so far. So looking to continue that. 2-0 pitch to him, swung on and missed. Oilers put up 1 run in each of the second, third, fourth, and fifth innings. Geneva scored theirs in the top of the second. 2-1 pitch, swung on and rolled down the first base line, but right to Aiden Quintero at first, and he steps on the bag for the inning's second out. So the second ground ball off the bat of Matt Buffalo. It's the second out of the home half of the seventh, and the Oiler third baseman Aiden Coburn will come to the plate. Coburn drove home a run with an RBI single back in the second. Jackson Diamond came home to score on that tied the game. Coburn grounded out back in the fourth. He's up with nobody on and 2 down here in the home half of the seventh. And the Oilers up by 3. First pitch to Coburn. Oh, that one's well inside. That buzzed the tower, able to duck away from it. It's ball 1. Just narrowly able to avoid that pitch hitting him. 1-0 to Coburn, low ball 2. If Coburn can find his way on, Aiden Willard waiting in the on-deck spot. 2-0 from Briel is low ball 3. We've seen a few 2-out walks on either side so far tonight. Coburn hoping to be the next one to get on base for the second time in the game. 3-0. We'll see if he gets a green light here with nobody on and 2 outs. If he gets a good one to hit, why not? Braille takes a look, and the 3-0 pitch. That one sails all the way to the backstop, and it's a 4-pitch, 2-out walk. Aiden Coburn is on base for the second time tonight, and that'll bring Aiden Willard to the plate. Willard trying to reach base for the first time. He flew out to left field back in the second, popped out to short in the fifth. Aiden Braille taking a look back at Aiden Coburn. First pitch to Willard is inside. 5 straight have missed. Willard stands in on a 1-0. That one at the knees, but inside. 2-0. So 6 straight pitches have missed the strike zone after Caden Brield had a really good start to this 7th inning, setting down the first 2 batters in Smith and Buffalo. Coburn takes his lead off of first. 2-0 pitch, swung on and hit on the ground. That's snared past the diving spot at first, and he's going to reach. Quintero tried to slide and stop it, but couldn't quite do it. And the Oilers have maybe something cooking in the 7th as 2 are on. Give that one an infield hit to Willard for sure. Good job by Quintero to try and slide and stop it, but Willard able to reach, and headed for second is Aiden Coburn. So an infield single for Aiden Willard, 9th hit of the game for Olean. Decent speed on the base paths too, with Aiden Coburn at second and Aiden Willard at first. And the Oilers shortstop, who's had a very good night tonight, Armanis Romero, steps to the plate. Romero walked and scored in the 3rd, doubled and scored in the 5th. Just as we talked about the strikeout hat trick earlier, Romero trying to complete the run hat trick. He's had an excellent night. First pitch up high. And did that hit him? Yes, it did. That just clipped the finger of Romero. So he's on base for the 3rd time tonight. So a potentially costly hit by pitch, and the Oilers have him loaded with Connor Vercoloni coming to the plate. Vercoloni is 0 for 3, but he's put the ball in play all 3 times. 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts. Flyouts to left in both the 1st and 3rd innings. A flyout to right in the 5th. Oilers have the bases loaded. In the bottom of the 7th, Vercoloni trying to see if he could really bust this game open. Oilers already enjoying a 3-run lead, trying to secure a 3rd win on the season, get them back to 500, and pick up their first home win of 2026 and their first ever home win in the PGCBL. First one to Vercoloni is a called strike. Trying to keep the line moving and get some runs home. Oh and 1. Vercoloni standing in. The pitch from Brielt swung on and missed. A big swing, and the Oilers center fielder just comes up empty behind 0 and 2. And the 0-2 pitch to Vercoloni in the dirt, kept in front very well by Orrego. That stop saved a run for sure. No place to put Connor Vercoloni. Aiden Coburn at 3rd, Aiden Willard at 2nd, and Armanis Romero at 1st. 1-2 to Vercoloni, and that hit him. Or did it? I think they're going to say it. And either went off the bat or just barely avoided him. I think it's, yeah, it looks like it's a ball, but just barely avoided him. So now we're having a conversation, and they might be saying that I say it went off the bat, or at least it still seems to be the case that it's 2 and 2. Either way, the pitch on its way to Vercoloni. That one's up high. No question, no dispute about that. So we think it's a full count on Connor Vercoloni unless the ball that we thought hit him did go off his bat. 3-2. That's outside. Ball 4. It was a full count. And Brielt walks in a run. It's 5-1. So the Oilers get a run, and that does count as an RBI for Connor Vercoloni. Coburn comes home to score. Willard goes to third. Armanis Romero to second. The Oilers now enjoying a 5-1 lead. And a meeting on the mound, a left-hander up and throwing in the Geneva bullpen. So a meeting on the mound to discuss how they want to pitch to Thomas Bates, or maybe killing time if they do want to make a pitching change, although at least for the moment right now, it looks like they're going to stick with Caden Brielt. And that may change, but yeah, again, for right now, they are going to stick with Brielt. So we'll reset here, bottom of the 7th. Aiden Willard at third, Armanis Romero at second, Connor Vercoloni at first. This inning started with the first two batters being set down. Brady Smith flew out to right, and Matt Buffalo grounded out to first. Aiden Coburn drew a 2-out, 4-pitch walk. An infield hit for Aiden Willard, put 2 on. Armanis Romero was hit by a pitch to load the bases. And Connor Vercoloni drew a walk to bring in a run. First one here to Thomas Bates, a swing, and that one popped up, and it'll go out of play. Bates' 4th plate appearance of the night. He singled in the first, grounded out in the third, drove home a run with a triple in the 5th, but was thrown out trying to score on a pitch that got away from C.J. Arrego behind the plate. 0-1 to Bates, skipped in the dirt, kept in front nicely by Arrego. One ball and one strike to the right-hander. Oilers up 4, trying to bust this game open. 1-1 pitch to Thomas Bates. Just low, ball 2. Tough one to lay off of, but he does, and it works out. Bates, a veteran player for the Oilers. Of course, he's been here for a few years, going into his senior year at John Carroll University. 2-1 pitch to him. In the dirt, ball 3. So on a 3-1 pitch, probably about a 90 to 95% chance he'll be taking this pitch. But maybe if he gets something to hit, he's got the green light. And the 3-1 is inside. That goes all the way back to the backstop. It doesn't matter. A run was going to score anyway. The second straight time that Brielt has walked in a run, and it is 6-1. Oilers trying to pour it on as Bates gets the RBI. Aiden Willard comes home to score. Armanis Romero to third. Connor Vercoloni to second. Again, this is all happening with 2 outs. 5 straight have reached for the Oilers. Only one of them was off a hit. That one swung on and hit shallow right, dropping, and it drops fair. That's a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes another. Stopping at third is Bates. It's a 2-run single for Grant Fournier, and the Oilers have busted this one wide open. It's 8-1. Oilers pick up their 11th hit of the game, 4th run of this inning. Jack Painter coming to the plate. A 2-run single for Grant Fournier. Romero and Vercoloni both score as Fournier drives in 2. He's got 3 RBIs on the game. And we're going to have a mound visit, and this is going to be it for Caden Brielt. So in the bottom of the 7th, as the Oilers have plated 4, in this inning. 6 straight have reached, and only 2 of those were off of hits. So Brielle will exit after a disappointing outing. Geneva bringing in a left-hander with the extra hitter Jack Painter on deck. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. Oilers now enjoying an 8-1 lead. So a call to the bullpen. Third pitcher used tonight for Geneva. Bringing in their second left-hander of the game. And he'll take his warm-up tosses and complete them. It is the left-hander Max Lipton making his first appearance of the season. So as Lipton completes his warm-up tosses, we'll step aside. Oilers leading 8-1. So Max Lipton in the game, swinging and missing at the first pitch was Jack Painter. Painter trying to reach base for the second time tonight. Got runners at the corners with 2 outs. 0-1 pitch to him. That's a called strike. Painter struck out looking in the second, was hit by a pitch and scored in the fourth, flew out in the sixth. Thomas Bates at third, Grant Fournier at first. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So a great job by Max Lipton to come in and get a 3-pitch strikeout of Jack Painter. But the Oilers put together a lot with 2 outs. They get forward across the plate. We're going to the 8th inning at Bradner Stadium. Oilers leading the Geneva Red Wings 8-1. Top of the 8th inning, Oilers up 8-1. Andrew Hausman at the plate. First Red Wing to play tonight who played in their opening game. First pitch to Andrew Hausman is a called strike. He's batting in place of Lucas Marsh here to start the 8th. Another inning of work for Mark Holm on the mound for Olean, the left-hander. Put up a scoreless 7th. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. Hausman, a right-handed bat, wears number 18. And the 0-2 pitch on its way from Holm. Strike 3 called. He froze him. Good morning, good afternoon, good night from Mark Holm. Second strikeout since coming in relief. So Geneva trying to empty their bench. And they'll bring up Dylan Briggs. So Dylan Briggs is the pinch hitter for Geneva. Takes the first pitch up high for a ball. Geneva trying to use a lot of their bench in a game they trail 8-1 in the top of the 8th. See if somebody off the bench can give them a little bit of a spark. Jackson Slater was 0 for 2 tonight. 1-0 to Briggs is off the plate. Oilers out hitting Geneva 11-4 in the game. And they lead 8-1 after putting up 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th, all with 2 outs. 2-0 pitch from Mark Holm. That one misses high and away, ball 3. So after 3 straight had pounded the zone to Andrew Hausman, all 3 have missed to Dylan Briggs. Holm behind 3-0, trying to ensure that Geneva is not able to pull back in this one. 3-0 pitch, that's a called strike. Nobody on, 1 out, 3 balls and a strike to the right-handed hitting Dylan Briggs. Briggs wears number 3, another player not starting tonight but played in their first game of the season. 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. So a good job by Mark Holm to rally back after falling behind 3-0 to bring the count full. He'll try to finish off Briggs to bring up the extra hitter spot. Holm gets set, has the sign from Brady Smith, and the 3-2 pitch to Briggs. Swung on and fouled away. He'll get another crack at it. And Jackson Slater 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out in the game, so Briggs gets his first plate appearance of the night. On what has continued to be a gorgeous night in Olean. Really good crowd at Bradner Stadium. 3-2 pitch, swing, and a miss. He struck him out. How about Mark Holm coming back from down 3-0? He comes back to get his second straight strikeout. Third strikeout overall for Mark Holm in an inning and 2/3 of work. So that'll bring up the extra hitter spot. It was Nick Filipponi. First pitch to him here. It is Filipponi. He pops this one up on the infield. Armanis Romero is under it and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Mark Holm with 2 strikeouts. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Oilers one last shot to try and add to their lead before bringing us to the 9th inning. We're going to the bottom of the 8th at Bradner Stadium. Oilers 8, Red Wings 1. Home half of the eighth, Oilers trying to add on to an 8-1 lead before taking us to the ninth inning. The left-hander Max Lipton out there for another inning. Oilers will send the 5, 6, and 7 place hitters to the plate. Starting with the first baseman, Jackson Diamond. First pitch to him from Lipton is outside. Oilers out hitting Geneva 11-4. Diamond singled and scored in the second, flew out in the fourth, walked in the sixth, and was thrown out trying to steal a base. 1-0 pitch is swung on and fouled away. It'll be Diamond followed by Brady Smith and Matt Buffalo. Oilers scored 1 run in each of the second through fifth innings. 1-1 pitch is high for a ball. And then leading 4-1. In the seventh inning, brought home 4 runs, all with 2 outs. The first 2 batters of the seventh were set down. The next 6 reached, and only 2 of them were on hits. 2-1 pitch, inside, ball 3. Jackson Diamond trying to find his way on for the 3rd time tonight. Oilers lineup once again has been very solid. That's been their strong suit this season. 3-1 pitch is a called strike. Jackson thought it was ball 4. Ultimately, the count goes full. And we'll see if the Oilers throw Mark Holm back out there for the ninth. He's been very good in 2 innings of work so far, as the 3-2 pitch misses low, and it's a leadoff walk to Jackson Diamond. So the Oilers once again have a base runner. And throughout the 8 innings of this game so far, the Oilers have not been set down in order once. They have had at least 1 base runner in every inning so far in this game. And the 8th is no different after a leadoff walk to Jackson Diamond. First one to Brady Smith is a called strike. Brady Smith 1 for 3 on the night. Struck out in the second, doubled in the fourth, and flew out in the 7th. 0-1 to him, swung on and fouled away. Couple of big swings, and we've seen that. I'd not be surprised if Brady Smith hits a couple of home runs this year. He's got some big swings. And he's shown excellent command behind the plate tonight, too. Lipton looks over, now the 0-2 pitch off the plate. Jackson Diamond runs well over at first. I don't think the Oilers would need... I think the Oilers would really be in a position to send him, but they could. 1-2 pitch is up high, ball 2. Again, the Oilers back at home tomorrow night for another 6:30 first pitch. Geneva on the road again tomorrow night. Oilers hosting the Niagara Ironbacks at 6:30 tomorrow night. 2-2 pitch to Brady Smith. High, ball 3. Geneva heading to Elmira tomorrow. They'll face the Pioneers at 6:30. So Brady Smith stands back in. The 3-2 pitch from Lipton. Strike 3 called. He froze Brady Smith. And Lipton picks up his second strikeout. The second time that Brady Smith has gone down striking out in this game. It'll bring up Matt Buffalo with 1 on and 1 out. And Matt's had a pretty good night. Singled in the second. Brought home a run with a ground ball in the 4th. And grounded out in the 7th. So Max Lipton will check on the runner at first, and the throw gets away, and Diamond's heading for second base. That's the risk you run with those aggressive pickoff attempts. The throw gets away, and Jackson Diamond scampers his way to second. So before a pitch is even thrown to Matt Buffalo, the Oilers get one in scoring position. Jackson Diamond able to go snag second base. Now the first pitch from Lipton is a strike on the inside corner. Pretty good size lead off of second for Jackson Diamond. 0-1 pitch from Lipton swung on and fouled away. Oilers a base hit away from making this a 9-1 game. They've already got some insurance, but more offense can never hurt you. The 0-2 pitch. Tough one to lay off of, but he did. Ball one. Oilers have done a fantastic job laying off of close pitches that are just barely outside the strike zone. Not just the case tonight, but really all season they've done well. Early season, of course, so far to this point, but still in a small sample size, they've done a good job. 1-2 pitch, low and inside. So Buffalo will dig back in, trying to get Jackson Diamond home. Oilers lead 8-1. And the pitch from Lipton swung on and fouled away. Matt Buffalo will get another shot at it. So Lipton, brief conversation with CJ Orego as the Oilers lead Geneva 8-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Matt Buffalo. Lipton looks at Diamond behind him. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Buffalo swung at one that was low. Third strikeout already for Max Lipton, second in a row, 2 down in the bottom of the 8th. So Aiden Coburn will come to the plate. Coburn brought home a run with a single in the second, grounded out in the 4th, walked and scored in the 7th. And score updates from across the PGCBL. The Auburn Doubledays get the win. The Mercy Rule Newark 12-0 in 8 innings of play. Bottom of the 7th in Batavia, the Muck Dogs have a 3-0 lead over the Niagara Falls Americans. First pitch to Aiden Coburn is a called strike. Top of the 5th inning in Glens Falls, the Amsterdam Mohawks have a 4-0 lead over the host Dragons. 0-1 pitch is another called strike. Oneonta still leading Mohawk Valley 2-0 as well. Lipton takes a look behind him. The 0-2 pitch to Coburn. Swung on and fouled away. So Max Lipton, who has pitched very well for the Oilers, or for the Red Wings in relief. Good size lead off of second for Diamond, and the 0-2 pitch. That one just misses up high, ball one. Oilers have out-hit Geneva 11-4 in the game tonight. Aiden Coburn has played a very nice game over at third for Olean. He, in addition to the RBI and the run scored, has had some phenomenal defensive plays over at third. Lipton looks behind him, and the 1-2 pitch to Coburn. High and away, ball two. Well, if Aiden Coburn can find his way on, it would bring up Aiden Willard, who singled and scored his last time up. Diamond standing with both feet on the grass off of second base. Lipton takes a look behind him, and the 2-2 pitch to Coburn swung on and fouled down the first base line. So Coburn will get another shot at it. Again, Diamond taking a solid lead off of second. Would not expect him to be going anywhere, though. The 2-2 pitch swung on and popped up high in the air, going after it. And it's going after it and making the catch is Christopher Gonzalo, the shortstop. Oilers leave one on, but that sets the stage for the ninth inning. Olean 3 outs away from their first home win in their PGCBL history. Going to the ninth inning at Bradner Stadium, Oilers up 8-1 on the Geneva Red Wings. All right, here we go. Top of the ninth. Oilers just 3 outs away from their first home win in the PGCBL era. And a defensive adjustment. New man on the mound. Aiden Coburn moves over from third base and is on the mound. Mark Holm pitched very well in relief after Jake Menendo had a very good start as well. It's Derek Stout taking his place at third. First pitch from Coburn is a ball. So the top of the order for Geneva, it is Christian Bermudez at the plate now. He'll be followed by Jackson Newton and Austin Dietz. Austin Dietz started the game as the pitcher. He was also the DH. So I'd imagine he probably will still be hitting. The 1-1 pitch from Coburn skips in the dirt. So position player pitching for the Oilers. Coburn just needs to get 3 outs. 2-0 swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coburn into the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So how about Aiden Coburn getting the strikeout to start the 9th inning? And the leadoff man set down. So Jackson Newton will bat, and Jackson's had a tough night at the plate. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in the game. Struck out looking in the first, swinging in the third, and swinging again in the 6th. First pitch to him from Aiden Coburn. Just misses for ball 1. 4 hits tonight for Geneva. Compare that with 11 for Olean. 1-0 pitch misses for ball 2. Coburn to the windup, 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. A big swing. And coming up empty. May have gotten a piece of it, but it's the same result either way. 2-1 the count to the left-hander hitting Newton. The pitch from Coburn inside that backs Newton up off the plate. And puts the Red Wings center fielder in good command, 3-1. Coburn into the windup, the 3-1 pitch. Strike 2. That just caught the top of the zone. I don't think Newton was a particularly big fan of that call. But it goes in as strike 2. So now a full count to him. The 3-2 pitch to Coburn. Just missed inside, ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Jackson Newton keeps the line moving. Austin Dietz will bat with a runner at first and 1 out. Dietz stands in with 1 on and 1 out. He's reached base twice tonight. First pitch to him, big swing, and he comes up empty. Dietz singled in the first, popped out in the 4th, walked in the 6th. Oh and 1 to Dietz. That one off the plate. So a ball and a strike. Dietz standing in. Again, the former Oiler against Coburn. The 1-1 finds the zone. Strike 2. Dietz trying to find his way on base for the 3rd time, but Coburn in command at 1 and 2. Coburn gives the nod, and the 1-2 pitch. Low and inside. Smith goes over to get it. Runner not going. Runner is Jackson Newton over at first. 2-2 to the left-handed hitting DH, who also started this game on the mound for Geneva, Austin Dietz. 2-2 pitch from Coburn, swing, and that one is fouled back. A game that has certainly gone by a lot quicker than the home opener that the Oilers had against Jamestown. 2-2 pitch from Coburn. Strike 3 called. He froze him. How about Coburn, the position player, coming into pitch, and he's got 2 strikeouts and has the Oilers 1 out away from their first home win of 2026. Aiden Quintero is the final hope for Geneva. Quintero grounded into a double play in the 1st, lined out in the 4th, flew out in the 6th. He's 0 for 3. Runner at first, that's Jackson Newton. First pitch from Coburn inside. And we'll be right back here tomorrow night for the Oilers to host Niagara. 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2. So Quintero in good command with a runner at first. Coburn gets set. 2-0 pitch on its way. Swing and a miss. Couple of big swings as Jackson Newton darts for second base. Oilers are let'll have them. They're not too worried about that. 2-1 the count to Quintero, and the pitch from Coburn. That one swung on and fouled away. Geneva down to their final strike. Oilers just one away from first home win of the season. So Quintero, I think Quintero might have fouled that pitch off of his foot. So he's having a brief conversation with Geneva's third base coach, but seems to be all right. Home plate umpire will come in and check on him as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the ninth. Olean trying to hang on to an 8-1 lead and put themselves back at 500 on the year. So Quintero will step back into the batter's box. Coburn gives a look into Brady Smith. And the 2-2 pitch on its way. Check swing, did it go? Yes, he did. It goes back in the dirt. Long throw down to first is not going to get him. Jackson Newton's going to come home to score. So it was a strikeout, but ultimately Aiden Quintero reaching on the dropped third strike, which does get a run home for Geneva, makes it an 8-2 game. Quintero on base, Jackson Newton scores. Geneva's first run since the second inning. First pitch to Dylan Abate is a ball, just high. Abate singled and scored in the second, singled in the fourth, walked in the seventh. 1-0 pitch to him is a strike. Oilers trying to finish this off and then get ready for the game tomorrow. That one from Coburn low and away. Quintero a short lead off of first. 2-1 to Abate. The pitch from Coburn, swing and a miss. And again, Geneva down to their final strike. So we'll see if Abate can get his fourth strike out of the inning. 2-2 pitch with the runner going. Swing and a miss, and that's your ball game. How about 4 strikeouts for Coburn? And the Oilers win it 8-2. The Oilers making history tonight, their first win at home in the PGCBL era. They beat the Geneva Red Wings 8-2. Oilers get themselves back to 500 on the season. They are 3-3, while Geneva drops to 0-2. Both of these teams will be in action again tomorrow. Geneva on the road to face the Elmira Pioneers at 6:30, while the Oilers will be at home again tomorrow at 6:30 to face the Niagara Ironbacks. Well, the Oilers offense continues to shine this season, and they did once again tonight. Stay tuned tomorrow to see if they will again. Oilers win it 8-2. They get their first home win in the PGCBL era, their first home win of 2026, and get themselves back to 500 on the season. We'll catch you same time, same place tomorrow night, 6:30 here for the game against the Niagara Ironbacks. Until then, this is Matt Volt saying good night and go Oilers.